looks like I did all of my. I think I did all my resets before I left.
Rana's health is back to accurate. I found the screenshot,
I put Johnny's back to where it was supposed to be.
and I didn't change my spells at all, so we're good there. Okay.
Hooky and Dookie.
Who would like to recap?
Oh goodness. Where did we start? We were in the battle wagon heading from the Just a Pus Mound or whatever it was called. The aberrant pus thing that had like grown around an old temple, and we were driving away from that because we'd finished everything there. We drove through some forest, and while Johnny was on watch, he heard, I want to say it was some music or something, that
Yep.
he did not end up investigating or pursuing. Probably smart. Um, and then on the way, because we're heading towards the spine of the last dragon, and so that was on the way. And then on the way, Johnny also rolled his divine intervention and got a visit from an angel and had a cool conversation there. Got some direction, which is always fun. Do you wanna add anything specific for that conversation, Paul?
Johnny's now on a mission from God, his God,
Cool.
and he is going to work on become. It sounds like he's been given the divine directive to expand the sphere of the manifest's influence back to where it used to be among the different disciplines of the divine.
Interesting.
And my main concern for him is that we all know what happens to prophets in their own time.
Oh
Just look
yeah.
at just look at history.
Uh
So
huh. Uh huh.
we could be looking at an upcoming religious schism. We could be looking at at some sort of excommunication for Johnny, or we just could be looking at people going, "You're going to do what? Oh, that's cool. Show me how." It could
Right.
go any which way.
Right.
So this is going to be an interesting time. This is the time for Chinese proverbs. May you live in interesting times, and Johnny's dragging you all with him.
Okay. Okay. So cool. So Johnny got a visit from the angel from his deity and learned that.
Yep.
Um, we did. It started snowing. It started snowing on the way there. That was interesting. It didn't snow for very long. Rana split the bells up, though, when she did start to notice that it was snowing. And I think she gave, I don't remember who she gave, or which bell she gave to who, but she split up one to Johnny, one to Rowan.
He's been giving the
Um,
bone one to Rowan.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so it started snowing. We kept going. Ha, that rhymes. Then it stopped snowing.
You
Uh,
kept going.
we kept going. I don't remember what else, if anything else of note happened on the way to the spine, but we finally got to the little village. The spine was like arcing electricity, and Rana was able to identify that the dragon that the skeleton is of was a blue dragon. Um, all the people in the village, Johnny and Tonus went down and talked to, I think, the sheriff.
Yes.
Um, and they're all like missing pieces of themselves. Like, not figuratively either. They're amputees. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, no. Okay, we're good. And
You
then.
just rhymed again. They're all amputees. I'm gonna sneeze.
I'm so good at this. Um,
You're a
and
poet, and you
then.
didn't even know you were gonna rhyme those words right now.
So we kept. Wait, did. Okay, we heard that, like, can't remember being able to make heads or tails of that conversation that they had. It all felt kind of vague and like, I don't know. I think they're sacrificing their limbs to something.
That it's
Do you
giving them
remember Paul?
protection.
Yeah.
They're sacrificing their bits and pieces of themselves for the protection of some otherworldly entity out there in the wastes. And I Johnny's pretty sure they're all tainted, and he's just like, we need to leave.
Okay. And then did we kind of get the sense that there was a monster out there?
Out in the waste, yes,
No,
somewhere.
like in the spine somewhere.
I don't recall.
Yeah, they said there was something out there.
I
don't
remember casting Pass Without Trace because we didn't want to, attract any attention or get attacked. And then we headed towards the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Tonus, did you have more you wanted to add?
I was agreeing that there was a creature of some variety. I don't remember specifics though.
Yeah, I don't think we got many.
The town was like self-mutilating as tribute to, I think, to that monster.
Right. I'm not sure. Again, I think it was all a little vague, and we were kind of like, let's not get involved.
Reasonable
For once. Yeah, so for once we stayed on focus and we headed towards this building where we found lots of undead and we killed lots of undead. Not lots of undead.
We re-killed it.
Yeah, we re-killed it. This guy is still following us. Not super pleased about that.
This is that workshop that we were looking for Tonus'
yes.
quest.
And we're still looking around
for tools.
We did find some neat things, but I can't remember if did we find what we were looking for, or are we still looking for what we're looking for? Because we found some stuff, I just can't remember.
The stuff we found is kind of ambiguous whether or not it would count as tools.
No, it shouldn't. They were looking for very specific tools.
Oh, that's right. It was like the rune crafting tools.
Mm.
Which I don't believe we have found yet, but I would recognize if I saw them.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. So we haven't. So Tonus hasn't seen them yet, so we're still exploring.
It's like fancy set of calligraphy tools, basically.
And we have not opened these 3 doors yet, have we?
I think Althea has. So we'll search.
Yeah.
So these rooms.
Those rooms were some offices that were used to design and.
They could definitely be in there.
Take orders or like do fulfillments.
Logistics and stuff.
You did search. I gave you a little bit of info at the end of the last session, so those have been gone through. That's where you found the gauntlet and the plans that showed a weapon commissioned for the Dwarven Doom engines.
Oh, that's we found those in these offices.
Yep.
I remember the plans. I don't remember the gauntlet. But then I'm an old man, so I forget things rather easily these days. Who are you and why am I here? Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that's because we were hitting the end of the session time, and I put it into the general chat afterwards, so it was easy to miss.
Gotcha.
And it's also been 3 weeks.
It has.
So
somewhere in the chat, did you put the last session? I asked to. Oh, there it is. Asked to inspect the bodies.
Yes.
I found the message. As I recall, there's also steps down to a basement.
Correct. Yeah, down on the first floor.
Okay, well, we'll look around. Make sure we look around the rooms that we've already been through. We were fighting, and trying to make sure that we didn't get jumped. But we will make sure to look around, like maybe over here. And
yep. So the second floor aside from the area which opens up to the bottom, has those offices where they do a lot of their paperwork type, that used to do their paperwork and designing. The bottom floor was dominated by the workshop itself. Lots of rusted tools and works that had been partially completed. Most, with the fact that this workshop is hundreds of years old at this point. Lots of decay and just lost work. Let's see, what else have we said about these?
But
Yep,
not the tools that we're looking for.
correct.
Ha. Okay.
Yeah, you've gone over the first and second floor pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
And this leads
And
to a third floor.
No,
Nope,
this
that goes
leads
down.
back down. Oh, why can't I move? Oh, there it goes. So then I don't.
The basement
Oh, I
was
see it.
staircases here. There was a shed out back that had.
Oh,
Is there anything? Double check that.
I don't remember if we opened that.
You didn't. Just a storage shed of sorts like old. You'll find like nails and horseshoes and very mundane items in there.
Okay.
All also rusted and corroded to
And this
outside of
garden
usability.
sort of thing?
Yep. Garden. It has. It's overgrown. It's mostly weeds and wild plants at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, okay, so then we're heading to the basement. Ah! That
are you
guy.
gonna join me downstairs?
Excuse me.
I was gonna check this drawer thing here.
Roar? Where are you?
Second floor.
Oh yeah, just more continued workshop that held. So this whole area has um, scaffolding and harnesses to allow the rune keepers to have worked on larger projects such as the one that's partially finished. So that held some of the like belts and rope and rigging that would be used for that.
Okay.
We're just waiting for everyone to get downstairs so we can.
Mm-hmm.
So just assume that people will start descending down the stairs.
Yep, doing
As you
the combat conga line.
as you do so, your hairs start to stand on end. You have feelings of being watched, and when you breathe, it feels like the air is big in your chest. It's sort of chaotic, magical energies sort of swirl in the air. Um, Near the base of the stair, you see a corpse of a spider in webs.
Ew.
Its carapace is. There are gems embedded in its carapace. And around the room, you see lots of webs and humanoid-sized figures wrapped in those webs, sort of stuck to the walls. One of them there's a sort of ghoulish arm sticking out of one, and it feels around the web weakly.
It's like, folks, we got some really nasty stuff down here, and I will describe what I'm seeing to everyone who's still upstairs.
Rana might have to stay up here.
As Johnny looks around and calls back, he and really everyone starts to hear a voice in your heads that says, "Is you ghoul? No, they're dead. Have you come to bring an offering?"
What?
An offering for me.
Who are you?
Who are-
The ghouls called me a mind spider, but I learned I'm an arachnid.
An arachnid is a spider.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is she getting undead vibes?
No.
Rana's not?
Nope.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
You killed all the ghouls. Why?
They were attacking us.
I understand.
We were
My
defending
s-
ourselves.
my offspring sometimes becomes ambitious themselves.
Oh my god. Oh.
We are here looking for specific items. We do not wish you any ill will or any harm. We just wish to complete our search and leave without incident.
You've come to my home. This is all mine.
We were unaware. Perhaps there's something, if we find what we are looking for, perhaps we can offer something in trade for it.
Just double check. Johnny can note that some of the webs over here seem to vibrate and move seemingly of their own accord.
Okay.
Tonus, you can go down. Don't, like, Rana
Okay.
is struggling.
Yeah. So
Oh, my apologies. I keep forgetting that I'm not. I still have a little bit of a cough, so sometimes I'm gonna mute myself to cough so I don't hurt everyone's ears.
okay. So what should we call you? It is only polite to address
Shelob!
other beings by their names.
It's Shelob! Kill it! Kill it with fire!
Easy there, Sparky.
I'm just kidding.
Would be Aragog, you don't know.
Aragog sucks too!
Name?
What-
I thought I was called Arachnid.
If that is how you are called, then that is what we will call you. So tell me, Arachnid, why are these, and he gestures over to the far corner, why are these webs moving? Is there some sort of tribute in there for you? Some sort of food? Or is
They
that
seem
your
to abruptly stop, and it's several long moments before you receive another um, message.
Mhm.
And it takes and through that time, you watch as the web slowly stop oscillating and come to a standstill. Have they stopped?
Yes, what were they?
Nothing. What are you looking for? I will trade magic for magic.
Well, we are, and I said, Tonus, would you can give the best description of what we're looking for.
Insert description of rune making.
Calligraphy
Yeah,
tools.
hammers, chisels, small picks, and yeah, various. It's like like if you were to get a tool belt for an on-site construction job, kind of something like that. Rolls out in a kit. Um, what you are looking for is in a chest near my last daughter.
And
Just near my last daughter.
where is your last daughter?
That's this spider right there.
Of course it is.
That's the dead one that has some
Oh.
gems embedded in its carapace.
Okay, so it's in the chest and then north of that.
Yep.
Okay, so
It's very thick with webs there. You can see a chest. It is. You see a sort of where you would expect iron bands going across like the wooden
Hmm.
slats of the chest. There's gold filigree on it. You could see, unlike most of the other things you've come across, it looks free of rust or signs of wear.
Okay. Well, Arachnid, thank you for letting us know this. Um, may we have your permission to go and look inside the chest to ensure this is what we want before we
Look, don't
before we
touch.
bargain? Before we bargain, thank you. So, Tonus, would you please go check?
How close can I get without like here?
Uh, without like getting in the webs,
Yeah.
you'd have to get in the webs.
So,
Can I
Johnny's
not?
gonna,
Can I mage hand?
Um,
Wait, they said don't touch. I mean, I see a chest there. Am I able to touch the chest?
yeah, it'll confirm that it meant don't touch the tools.
I will mage hand the chest open then,
Okay.
and then look with my elf eyes to see if I can see the tools.
You've got elf eyes? Where'd you get those? Whose eyes are those?
uh,
Uh, at first, the lid of the chest doesn't give. The webbing sort of surpasses what Mage Hand can overcome, but you could probably pull away the webs individually and then go at it again, which gives you the
Yeah,
purchase to open it up.
yeah.
And as it opens up, it's kind of like one of those tool chests that has the tray that comes up with the lid, and you can see an assortment of immaculate tools, which again, just like the box they're in, are free of wear.
Those are the ones.
okay.
There's each will have like an individual gem embedded in the handle of some type, but it's from this distance, it's difficult to see precisely what each art is, but they look to fit the description.
All right, so these are tools these are the items we're looking for. And you said you will trade magic for magic. Hmm.
Yes, need magic, want magic.
Johnny's gonna actually look around the room. Can I see where this arachnid is? I'm assuming if it's going to be pretty big considering the size of its daughter.
Make a perception check.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I'm gonna pull out my lantern of invisibility as well.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, there's a vague shimmering and uh, kind of presence that you can notice right here.
No, like
Oh,
right in front of me. Great. It's like, well, I can craft magic items. It would take me a little bit of time, no more than an hour, to make something for trade.
What do?
I can make a shield which has properties to defend against fire. I can make a blade which has properties to hurt with fire based on the command of the wielder. Those are the most common and most readily makeable items that I have available.
let me see if I have anything cool I can make.
Not enough.
Apparently, I have not written down my artificer infusions.
Make some infusions, uninfuse them tomorrow.
Pretty much.
That's not Totally not what I was thinking. What is a very cool hat right now will be a very normal hat tomorrow.
Althea takes a few steps upstairs and starts whispering to
Hold up,
Rana
level 9.
and Rowan
I'm level
about
9.
the negotiation that is going on, and I am not comfortable with this. I I don't know what how to do what else might be necessary, but I don't like the idea of giving this thing more magic.
Johnny will say, so tell me, if it's not enough, what would be enough? I need to understand from you what value you place on that chest over there so that we can offer fair trade. He says a shield, a shield of magic and a sword of magic in trade for a box of tools. Surely that is equal recompense. And I'm going to try and use persuasion to try and talk my way through this.
Okay.
So make a persuasion roll here. Ah, there's that zooming thing again. I gotta fix that. No matter how many times I turn that off, it always comes back on.
Hmm.
I don't know why. So persuasion check. Eh.
It says you have many magics and offer so few.
We offer what we are willing to part with. We are offering to make something new for you, something that is special for you. How is that not worth more than something that we already have?
Have no use for shield. Have no use for sword.
What do you have use for? See, now we're getting somewhere.
What? One second. Yep. What floats above your head?
What floats above my head?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the iron stone that they got rotating around up there?
Yep.
Yeah. Ah, that is not for trade.
Mhm.
Johnny does sound a bit saddened by that. I said, unfortunately, that is not for trade. That was a gift. That was something that I cannot part with.
Ruby.
He's talking about do you mean the
Pendant.
pendant, the
Mm.
pendant that I wear? Yes. Again, you ask for trade of a gift freely given, a memento of a time spent with my comrades and new allies. Would you deprive me of something of such personal value? Something that I hold dearly for something that is taking up a space in your room? While these are not as family and children would be, they are of dear and precious value to me for remembrances. Would you deprive me of my memories? And as Johnny's hopefully keeping focus with this with Arachnid, hopefully other people are doing something about this. It's like, can only tap dance for so long, folks.
The spider can tap dance 4 times as long. It's not gonna accept anything of armor, shield, sword because it can't really use them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Problem.
yeah, right.
Yeah, true.
The
Can it flip a coin?
It could flip a coin.
I pull out of my pocket the all or nothing coin and say, with this coin, you can make the impossible possible once a day.
Sounds like you're telling it can cast a wish.
Well, if it's you can make whatever is possible with a d20 roll possible.
Sometimes
Or
that's
possibly
casting
not.
wish.
Mostly because I always forget that I have it.
Right? I think you used it once.
Yep,
I've
he
used it a
did.
couple times and it's always gone negative, so I
Nice.
stopped. Which is not how I guess if I use it more, then eventually it'll start being positive because of how probability works. But
Okay. It responds coin and floating stone.
oh, I thought the stone would have been enough on its own.
Yeah. See, oh,
What floating stone?
my
The
my own
blonde
stone.
stone.
Yeah, my own stone of spell storing. It's got that level 1 healing spell in it.
Oh.
Look over at Tonist.
You must grant us safe passage out of this place in addition to the tools.
I cannot protect you from Miraduin.
Oh right, we got the name of the thing.
Where is Miraduin?
The the dragon skeleton.
Okay, that's what that is. Okay, thank you. That's it. But we ask for safe passage out of your home.
Yes, yes.
All right. I look over at Tonist and I kind of give the shoulder shrug of you want to do this?
Uh, I'll nod back.
All right. So Johnny will bring down the stone.
How tall is this room?
So this gray stone area does have at its ceiling could open up to allow even bigger works to be completed, but the ceiling itself here is about 15 feet high
Okay.
for most of the room.
Okay. Thank you.
So Johnny will pull down the stone and say, a fair bargain for us to end this peacefully.
Second. Oh, okay. So I have to make. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
What is the
Uh,
9 on the floor?
it's the room number so that
Oh,
I could reference my notes more easily.
Ah, yeah, because I was noticing every area had its own little number now. How very dare you become efficient?
No, I'm becoming a
did you hear
real.
me mention before that I was gonna pull out my lantern of revealing as well?
I did
Hey,
not.
Ah, yeah.
That would help.
Yep.
Uh,
'cause I remember you saying that too. So
And I was gonna shine it in Johnny's general direction, being as that's where. Oh. What the that?
yeah,
Is that what I think it is?
I mean, don't
On
be
its back?
don't be
Oh, okay.
too focused on the image itself. When you search for something that I was going for visually, there aren't a lot of options, but
I'm so glad I'm up here.
It's a spider made of dice.
the
What?
lantern reveals a quite large spider,
Hmm.
as big as a horse. Its uh, carapace is similar to the smaller one near Tonist, is embedded with gems, stones, and it seems to have done some etchings on itself as well.
Hmm.
You can see runes carved into its shell,
Hmm.
into its
Okay.
exoskeleton. And it has the, the 8 compound eyes that all seem to be focused on Johnny.
Okay. Well, Johnny will once I can actually see it. Johnny will say, "You are very beautiful to look at."
Mm,
As he's very carefully bringing the stone down to make this trade.
okay.
You are very very beautiful to look at. Why do you hide yourself?
Says trespassers sometimes attack.
Okay. Well, it is not my intention to attack you. It is my intention to come to get what we came for, to offer fair trade, and to leave peacefully.
It reaches out with one of its legs and
Johnny will put the stone there, and I'll remove it from my inventory.
okay. Um, as it reaches out, a sort of spectral hand takes hold of the similar to the one that Tonus used to open the chest, takes hold of the stone and place it above the spider's head,
Okay.
where it starts to swirl around it.
Okay, and it is now out of my inventory, and it does have a level 1 cure spell in it.
Okay.
Did it? Did it agree to give us safe passage out of here?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good. Good, thank you.
Right from the main creature. But yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'll
So
flip my coin to it from across the room.
Okay. Are you using it as you flip it?
I have to make a roll prior to flipping it, so no.
Okay. That'd have been kind of funny to me.
I thought
All
about
right, you can have
doing
it, but
like
you're not
somewhere
gonna
like
have it
depending on how
today.
it lands, I do something, but I don't think I can do it that way.
Yeah.
Much as I would want to.
Okay. It gingerly picks up the coin with the mage hand that it's conjured, and you watch it places it on the table here.
okay, there's all sorts of little trinkets and things on the table.
You see other coins.
Okay.
You'll see some playing cards.
Oh.
You do see
Oh.
a sort of mechanical rat on the table.
Can we is it a regular deck of playing cards? Can we tell?
Uh, yeah, Johnny can see a regular deck.
Darn. Okay.
It is not a deck of many things, if that's what you're
Okay.
after.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, my goodness. Okay, so
Well,
well,
now the spider has to die, unfortunately.
Uh,
what? Wait,
No, no,
what?
no, no. If it was a deck of many
Oh,
things.
okay. Like, come on, I just negotiated us out of here peacefully. Let's just go. So Johnny will say, Arachnid, thank you for speaking with me, and thank you for trading fairly with us. We are going to now go get the chest and leave, okay?
yes.
All right. So he will back away, keeping the spider in view until he's out of leg length.
It
And
it actually will move along the webs along the edge to where the chest is and begin to
I will
pull
keep the lantern on at all
webbing.
times.
It begins to pull webbing away from the chest and creates a sort of a path uh,
okay,
to the chest itself.
Okay. Then I will go ahead with Tonist and get it out of there.
Okay.
How big is this chest? Is it a one-person lift or is it a two-person lift?
One person could do it awkwardly. Y- it's maybe 2 feet high and about 3 feet wide.
Okay.
So one
So,
person could do it, but it'd be kind of those, depending on how fit they were, they'd have those strange, like penguin stepping.
okay, got it.
I'll
So
take one and Johnny
I,
takes the other then.
yeah, we'll just
I'll hand the lantern to Althea.
yeah, it's like we'll lug it out of here.
Okay. Yeah. With the two of you, it's easy to move around, and you're able to ascend back up the staircase.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I think I left Liger down there. Oh no.
I'll grab him.
I got him.
Uh,
Ah, there he goes.
When they're all upstairs, Johnny will look over at Ron and go, "Whew, let's leave."
Rana would have loved it down there.
Rana would have no. Rana
Rana
would
has a
cut.
very anxious look on her face, like, is everything fine? Do I have to go down there? Are we fine?
No, you don't. Everything's fine.
Okay.
But you do notice that the stone is no longer orbiting around Johnny's head. But we negotiated a trade, and we are now going to be leaving.
She just nods. Nods.
There's no fight. We're just leaving.
As you exit the building, the localized storm continues to pour down water around the area of the skeleton. Lightning strikes that barren land between the ring of ruined buildings and the skeletal form itself.
Hmm.
Um, with the light of the lightning, you get occasional more brightly lit portions of skeleton. You could see um, small chunks have been taken out of portions of it, but otherwise you don't see anything.
Do
Is
I
it
need to
that we
cast?
bag that before we go out into that? Bag the chest or the contents thereof.
Yeah. I did want to ask that question. How do you work bags of holding? Will the opening expand and contract based on the needs of whatever we want to put into it, or can
No,
you only put in things that will actually fit into the physical mouth of the bag?
right.
That's what I thought. I wasn't going to try and jam the thing in there. It's like this isn't working.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well,
Uh, Liger might be able to carry it if we strap it to Liger.
Yeah. I mean, that's typically where I am.
I know. Well, okay, but it's either you walk and Liger carries it, or you get to carry it.
Could we just stash it somewhere up here and then come back to it after we've dealt with whatever else we're dealing with, or are we going back to the battle wagon?
I think we're going back to the battle wagon.
And we'll just carry it together.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, we can stick it on Liger's back.
For the dash across the lightning field.
Well,
You
wait,
don't
what
you
is
don't
this?
have to dash across the lightning field. The lightning field is in that barren central area.
Okay, and
What
we're
is
past
this
that.
one? I know that this is
Yeah.
probably just part of the decoration of the map, but is this a little like cart?
That should have been a table.
Oh, the table. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, is there like a ye olde medieval hand truck in here somewhere?
You
Imagine
didn't
there would be.
see any.
So your gnomes would have something around here to cart heavy things about.
Did
Almost
we check?
everything in
There's
here
the
is.
shed over here. We could check.
Yeah, that just had like boxes and barrels of things.
Barrels, you say?
Yeah, but like everything else, it's pretty decrepit.
How far away is the battle wagon?
I think it was like a half mile, quarter mile. Wasn't too
Oh,
far.
okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, let's just head back there, secure the chest, and well, then we can either just leave because we got what we came for, or we can go poke the grizzly bear and see what else we can get in trouble into over here.
How heavy did you say the chest was?
It's probably on the level of 30 pounds or so.
Oh, okay, that's not bad at all.
We had two more people with mage hand. We could carry it. passively.
Mage hand. 2 more people.
Yeah. Sorry, three people total.
If you guys are willing to wait like 10 minutes, I could make something that can carry it for us.
Half a mile's what? 6 blocks. We can just carry it.
Yeah, it's not that heavy.
Okay,
Transform Liger into a armored pushcart.
Yeah, so you carry the tool chest back towards the engine and the village. The Death Seer continues to float along behind the group.
We should have traded the Death Seer.
Oh yeah.
I
That might
am
be
not a
slavery,
magic
but
item.
no. Moral gray area. He's been stalking us.
Yeah, true.
When you return, the villagers continue to eye the group with suspicion and stay away. Let's see. Yep, you open up the back of the Doom engine to enter it again, and when you do so, you find Stephen hastily returning a sword to one of the holders on the wall of the inside of the wagon. Nearby, there's a sort of straw shaped into a vaguely human form, wrapped in a blanket. You know it's straw because there's some holes in the blanket. Straw sticks out.
Been practicing, Stephen?
He sheepishly says yes.
Did you hurt yourself at all?
No.
Good. Once we're clear of here, once we have some downtime, we'll help you with some more training, okay?
Nods.
Okay. No, you didn't do anything wrong. It's okay. You're not in trouble. Just maybe you might want to practice without live steel. I can craft you something that has the same weight and balance to it, but doesn't have a live edge to it.
He says that he would have gotten a stick, but he didn't know how to open the engine without you guys.
Oh, did we trap him in here?
Poor
We
Stephen.
locked the poor boy in.
It was for his own protection, I'm sure.
Yeah. At least we didn't lock him in the Doom engine in a busy mall, because then we would have had mall cops and everything trying to break the windows to let Stephen out. All right, so I digress. All right, so yeah, I will make note to make him something that has proper weight and balance of a basic longsword for him to practice with. Basically, what are those things called, Tara? You see it fair all the time. The wooden swords, they have a specific name. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Bogans.
Not well. I wasn't going with Boken, but yeah, basically. I'll make him one of those for
Yeah,
for
some
practice.
training swords.
Yeah, so that he doesn't accidentally lop off an arm,
Well,
his or one of ours.
the other option is Shunai.
That's pretty specific to katana form, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of like the big wooden swords that you would get from the vendors. The kind of the boys used to have, Tara. Yeah, those aren't Boken and they're not Shunai, but it doesn't matter. We all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's practice sword. We're good.
Yeah, practice sword. Moving on. Sorry. Moving on. So yeah, I'll do that later. We'll stow the. Let's do an inventory of what's inside the chest. For Tonus' peace of mind that we got everything we need. Because I think you just mage handed and looked and peered into it from before, right?
Yeah.
So let's do an active inventory of this thing.
It's all missing set.
Okay, so
Okay. Yeah, so you find the hammers and chisels. You find mallets. You find like leather hole punch. Each is engraved and set with different precious gems, which themselves are each have a rune. Yeah.
is there
Looking it over, Tonus finds that everything that's expecting to find is in there.
is there any type of manual on how to use them to to make specific inscriptions?
No, not in
A
the
big
chest.
old brain right here.
Right?
No, you never know. Never hurts to ask.
That's
You know,
true.
rune carving for dummies.
If you don't ask, you
It's
might
just a
miss.
giant script, basically. If you know giant, you can imbue most runes, but to a limited extent. It just takes practice for like good ones.
Got it. Okay. So yeah. So what? Since we're all in a nice secured area, shall we continue or shall we leave and finish this mission?
Are you asking if we want to go drop it back off at Three Rivers or head to Shifnal?
I'm asking if we want to leave this area or go literally go poke the dragon.
Oh no.
Good.
I don't want
I'm
to go
not.
poke the.
I will
No.
abstain from answering.
Well,
I
Tonist. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I am in favor of not pressing our luck.
As far as I'm pretty sure, as far as Tonist is concerned, the mission's done.
Yeah, but Dragon Horde.
No. There's no horde. It's just a skeleton.
I
Uh,
don't know. Oh well, then what dragon are we not poking?
I'll
And
be right back.
whatever monster may or may not be in there. They
Yeah.
call it the name of the dragon, but
I need a quick break as well.
okay.
Be right
Other
back.
monster horde.
My question is, how do you want to send the tools back to the gnomes? Because out of character, I know that our party has a way of just sending it to them, or at least I'm pretty sure I do. But I don't know if we will ever be able to figure that out in character because the character that can do it doesn't like to volunteer that he can do things.
Well, I was willing to volunteer. I just don't know that Rowan has met the people we need to send it to, which is a requirement.
Um, if yeah, sure, do that.
Well,
Well,
did
I don't remember if Rowan was ever present to meet said gnomes.
I think he was when they I do think he has met them, but I don't know if he ever like talked to them. They were in a close proximity
Around.
of they
We
were
could
Could
around,
we
always,
send
yeah.
it to your? Could we send it to your Rana's dad?
yeah, send it with a note saying, please deliver these to.
The name
Rana's
of that workshop, whose name I've forgotten, but can look up here.
Rana's dad is in Talmel, the Elven
Rana's
Forest. But
mom.
we could send it to Rana's mom, yeah.
Yeah, do Rana's mom. The shop is called not the Last Keep. Where was it? 58? 58? The Rune Keeper. It's number 58 on the Three Rivers map. It's also really close to Lady Michaud's house, but I feel like she would just keep them. So
Yeah, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
you're probably not wrong about that.
yeah.
So I had to go deal with a needy dog for a moment, so I apologize for stepping away.
So
Real
your
quick,
dad's
Dale's
about
on.
to pop up, so you're good.
what are we doing?
Waiting for Jacob.
Back.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully,
Yeah, so if it wasn't discussed while I was gone, the skeleton is where Mirduin died, not necessarily where its lair was. So finding a horde there seems unlikely.
And Rana would point that out. Mirduin died in the middle of a battle. A big battle.
Johnny, thanks for a second. But I could use the bones for crafting materials.
We're not going in
Dad
there.
could also use the bones for eating.
Gaz,
what?
see
Nope.
now. Okay.
Not worth it. Let's leave.
Yeah.
Johnny's like, nope,
Imagine
nope,
what he could do with the skull of a dragon, though.
nope.
Rana doesn't have to imagine that. She knows.
But what about that dragon?
No, we're not. We're not going there. If Gaz were here and he really wanted to go, then maybe, but he's not here. So let's just go.
I think the plan is then to send the tools via Rowan's magic powers
Magic. Uh,
to Rana's mom.
well, simpler. Did Rowan meet the gnomes at all,
You
Jacob?
were near them, like you might not have directly interacted with them, but you were in like the vicinity of them.
Yeah.
I know their names and where they work, if that helps.
What's the spell? Something
That's
courier.
yes, Speedy Courier. Galder's Speedy Courier.
Is that similar to the city Balder?
Uh, no,
That place has a gate.
Hmm.
maybe Galder.
You summon a small air elemental.
Yeah, pretty good spell.
Immune to all damage. Wow. Can it deliver knives into your enemies?
It it cannot.
Met and seen at least once before. Why? I mean, I guess you could meet something that you don't see.
He was in the vicinity when I was interacting with them, so there might have been an introduction, or I don't know.
Yeah, you have the ability to send it
Okay.
using that spell.
All right. Well,
It's
I don't
a
have it prepared
three
today,
feet
so
cube chest that he carries around.
yeah, we can deal with it tomorrow.
Okay. What is the plan for the rest of this day, if any?
I believe we're heading to Shivnal so that Tonist can make some. Well, so that Althea can check in with the barony, and then Tonist wants to tinker with the battle wagon, I believe, for something. Something to prep it to cross the river, if I recall correctly.
Last time we were like we made plans for setting up the garage at the base, so to speak. I don't know how much of that was ever actually like finalized and completed or started.
It's been a month. I think they gave us a month's timeline.
And we've been gone significantly longer than a month at this point, I think.
About a month and a week and a half.
Okay. So we have plans for an upgrade in a proper garage, and this thing needs a proper fixing anyway, so
And Johnny wants to check on the progress of the forge
Mhm.
and the enclave.
Okay.
I have a road project as well that I would like to work on while Liger's driving.
Road project. Okay. Um, you continue north, leaving behind the village of amputees, voluntary amputees
Voluntary amputees.
is rare, but sadly not uh, unknown. Okay, so traveling north, the trail begins to weaken and uh, sort of become more wild, and then seems to disappear altogether as you travel across mostly untraveled land. Continue for some miles north of the village, continuing to hug the tree line. Ah,
We've gained a goat.
hooray! Okay. Um, when you spot a totem of sorts, it's a tripod of wood, atop which rests a small skull, and you can see one east of the this totem as well, maybe 500 feet away, and then another 500 feet past that, you can sort of see something that might be another one.
Are they forming like a boundary line?
It could be. The skull on top of this one faces the direction that you came.
Is it a human skull?
It's hard to tell from within the engine, but it's small and kind of long, so probably not humanoid.
Hmm.
Any
Are we a
and any religions that Johnny knows of that would have this as as a marker or their holy object, like an object of worship or something like that?
If there is one, it'd be really obscure. Certainly not one of the Grecian ones.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Try a religion check.
All right, let's see where I go with this.
You're not familiar, or Johnny's
No.
not familiar with any.
Okay, okay, cool.
Are we approaching?
I have no idea.
There's a. I'm sorry. What's it called? A village. There's a village on the map. Are we
Yeah,
kind of
there's two of them
approaching that?
actually. Yeah,
There's-
there's Milburn, and then there's this other like Lynn country.
Milburn is a big city. We would know if we were approaching Milburn.
Yeah. What's
It's
the
the capital of that
but
duchy.
yeah? What's the middle one? Lynn.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So
I
I'm
can't read
wondering
it.
if we're approaching that town.
Which map are you looking at?
There's
There was one that was
pinned.
posted in Discord. Yeah, it's in the general chat. It's pinned.
Can I make this bigger? I can't read that.
I can.
Ah, there we go. Thank you.
For you.
Lynn.
You should still be kind of too far away from that one still.
Okay.
Oh, that seems really close to where we are right now.
Okay, so this is not necessarily like a thing that the town might have set up. Like for protection?
Maybe not.
Okay. Is it in our way?
No, you could
Landorary.
drive past it quite easily.
Okay, well, I mean, unless anybody has a strong need to get out and examine, I would suggest we just move along.
Just follow the line.
Yeah, we're just heading
You continue. You continue north, and you see.
Wait, like we crossed the barrier? Okay.
Yep, past the totem, and you start to see crows flit in the trees near the edge of the forest. Just a couple at a time, and then maybe a 1,000 feet later, you'll see a 3 or 4 more, and they grow in number as you continue.
Okay.
They watch as the engine rumbles past.
Staying inside just in case.
A few miles past that totem, you see a humanoid up ahead. It's crouching down near this fat, gray-skinned quadruped, which is sort of lazing about in the grass, just laying down. The quadruped has a horn on its head. It's got thick gray skin.
Is it
It's
a
a rhino.
rhino?
It is a rhino, which isn't native to Grescia. Could have been brought south from the steppe, but
Oh, okay. So we've never.
this is likely the first time any of the characters have seen one.
Whoa. Okay.
The figure crouching next to him is a tall elf. You know he's tall because when you get closer, he stands. But it's crimson hued and has is dressed in simple but fine clothing, and seems to be rubbing something into the rhino.
He's an Orome?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would I have anything from my history books?
Yeah. The sub-clan, the clan of elf that this elf is from, is warlike and nomadic.
They're not known to ride rhinos, though. Is that accurate? If this is the first time Rana's probably seen one?
They're known to ride elk into battle.
Right. Okay.
Moosin.
Moosin.
That's a weird looking horse.
At his hip, he has a tulwar, but no armor.
You said he's wearing fine clothing?
It looks fine, but it is simple. Yes. Blues and gray.
Interesting. Rana will let the party know to be on their guard, but he may or may she they
He,
may or may not attack, but be on their guard because these guys are all fighters.
Good to know. Thank you.
you get the engine draws closer, and he stands and turns and waves.
Unless he didn't grow up in the clan. There's always that possibility. If he didn't grow up in the clan and he's part of some extant set of elves, then all bets are off. But if he's part of the clan, then he's probably an expert fighter.
Well, he's waving to us. Should we stop and see if he's got any news of the region?
That's not a terrible idea.
That would be the polite thing to do. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tonus, can you please get Liger to stop us for a few?
Yeah, I'll just
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Do you exit the engine?
Yeah,
No.
Johnny will.
Oh, I
No.
won't.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny will exit the engine. He's got his armor on and
Rana
good to
will
go. And
as
not
well.
not weapon drawn, but shield on the arm.
Same for Althea.
Okay.
And Rana will also request Rowan to come.
Yeah, he will.
Oh, also, just so you guys are aware, she'll say this before we leave. If this guy is from the clan, this clan is currently at war with mine.
Might want to
Well,
pull your
don't
hood
let
down
them know
just
who you
in
are
case.
then.
So, that's it. That's all. Just be aware.
Might want to pull your hood down then, just in case.
I don't think that will work.
Ambrose doesn't know how he fits into all of this like clan nonsense, so he's probably just gonna hang out a window. Also, hi guys, Ambrose is here.
Yay!
Hey.
He was taking a nap in the
Oh yeah.
He missed the
Taking a
giant
nap,
spider.
Oh, really? Damn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another giant spider.
This one
We've got
was
several this
encrusted
morning.
in gemstones, so it was pretty.
Oh yeah, I'll put it where Ambrose is so you can see what it looked like.
I don't want
Well,
to see
sort
it.
of. It's a facsimile. It doesn't have that
Oh my
D20
god,
on its
bro.
back.
Well, and that picture that you have, I'm pretty sure I could make that.
Nice. It's pretty magnificent. It's very difficult to
as,
roll without getting a 20 every time, though.
As the kids say, that spider be pimpin'.
Wow.
Okay, so it sounds like Tonist and Ambrose are staying in the engine and everyone else exits.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Steven's staying in the engine too.
I need to be here
like,
to activate the
probably
flamethrower.
hanging outside the window,
needed.
so
He actually will start to go out with the rest of you. So does the Death Seer.
All right. So
Talk
Stephen,
about
just
weird.
be careful. We don't know what we're going into here, so stay out of arm's reach.
As you approach, you note he wears a necklace pendant which has a central sort of slot and 4 slots around that. And 2 of them are filled, one with an emerald and one with a topaz. The other 3 are empty.
The Infinity Gauntlet necklace.
Infinity necklace. Doesn't have the same ring.
dude,
No.
Del Toro quest.
I don't. Greetings, fine folk.
Reference and a half.
I'm Turad.
Hello, Turad. I'm Johnny. Pleasure to meet you. I'll lift up the visor on my helmet.
Oh, I am quite convinced the pleasure is all mine. Now, you traveled lands under the Emerald Regent's domain.
I don't know what that is.
That's not surprising. She is also known as Tizera the Tender.
Okay.
Still not ringing a bell.
Is he
Still-
coming on to us?
Does that ring a bell to Rana?
Mm,
Bells, because the
ring. Haha.
Nah.
I call that illusion. Roll a history check.
Yeah, what about Rowan?
It's sounding like with the emerald and the topaz, I'm thinking dragons.
Or the tender.
History. Oh, my history is not great.
Yeah,
Yep.
does Rowan happen to recognize this name at all?
Roll history. Ooh.
Much better.
Oh, much better.
Look at those. Oh, look at those bonuses. That's amazing.
Rowan knows them books.
Yeah, it's a forte.
Also, something the tender. What was the name?
I'll put it in chat in a second.
Thank you. Oh, is Rowan getting a whisper?
Ah, maybe.
Ooh.
The
Well,
Emerald Regent?
it's not surprising that you are unfamiliar with her, but she does welcome visitors of many creeds. And, of course, it's customary for guests to provide some tribute to Her Majesty and grandeur.
Is that who we just bargained with?
Barkeep?
No, no. Joining this is
No,
I don't think so.
that one's name. That one didn't have a name. Well,
I thought its name
Arachnid.
was Arachnid,
Yeah.
which in a way is its name because that's kind of what names are.
Um, which duchy are we in?
You are still in. Oh no, you've
We're not in
gone north
Blackshot
to
anymore. I think
Av-
we're Averil.
yeah, Duchy of Avril.
Okay,
Veen?
which is not what ha, which is not so. Uh, just from what we all locally know about the duchies and Averil, it's not ruled by an Emerald Regent, is it?
Nope. Avril is a fairly poor duchy. It's dominated by badlands and hills that doesn't allow for a lot of fertile land. The most fertile portions were the areas around where Mirtamine was killed, which just was
Oh,
another
that
blow for the duchy.
sucks.
Yeah. Um, it only has a couple small villages, and then its capital is on the eastern portion of the land. Ambrose would know it as it's kind of a long north and south one. It abuts Shifnal. Actually, I'll just snip. Why don't I just snip this?
Okay. Um.
This is ringing bells, but without seeing it on like the proper big map, I can't really place it.
Yeah, it's difficult to visualize, or can be. Um. Okay, so this guy wants us to pay tribute to a regent that we're not familiar with.
he didn't ask us to pay any tribute, just that it was
Oh.
normally expected.
Well,
No,
he's implying that we should offer tribute. Is the vibe I'm getting? Is that
yes,
inaccurate?
no, that's accurate, and he will
Okay.
continue and say, now, Tyzira actually provided a special request, which brings my humble person to your presence. One of your party travels with a gemstone coursing with the potency of a sapphire dragon. This belongs to her people, and would be a fitting tribute.
You do?
Belongs to
Is
her people?
so is Tyzira a dragon? And Rana will ask that out loud.
Uh, the elf smiles and says that she is.
The dragons don't rule here anymore.
At least one remains.
Maybe, but she doesn't rule.
And if she's the Emerald region,
Okay.
then how does she have domain over that which is Sapphire?
And if she's a dragon, how did she get the nickname the Tender? I feel like you got to put a lot of work in to get nicknames, and that's just like an uphill battle for a dragon to get something like that.
Right? They don't exactly invoke the ideas of comfort and
Maybe it means that she's tender in relation to other dragons.
Tender-hearted, maybe.
Or
But
she's tending to something.
to
Maybe she
Rana's
makes really good fried
knowledge,
chicken.
to Rana's knowledge, did the Sapphire Dragon and the Emerald Dragon, I don't know, plural, did they get along? Because not all of them did.
there wasn't much activity in terms of emerald dragons in the area. Mostly it was
okay.
the sapphire and the ruby.
Interesting. Okay.
And yeah, so Rana doesn't have the knowledge for that.
Okay. Well, as far as Rana's concerned, we don't owe. There's no tribute to be had because the dragons don't rule. This isn't Dragonland anymore. Nor should it have ever been. But that's a different conversation.
You've passed the markers. You are currently in her domain.
No, we're in the Duchy of Averil.
Oh, dragon.
So if it's all the same to you, we'll be on our way.
Question, fancy man. When you're talking about this Tizira the Tender lady, is this like she is actually like ruling right now, or is this more of like a patron sort of deity thing where like this is just her territory and you're just like carrying on in her name sort of shenanigans?
Would you care to meet her?
No.
No, I don't think.
I guess that doesn't really answer the question. If he's like, "I'll send you to her in death," no.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather not.
Is this an invitation or a threat?
We're just passing through on our way to another barony.
Yes, the humans are quite insistent on their delineations of land.
Well,
boy, are they.
This is currently their land. Now, Tizira might not be any happier about that than I am. Seeing as how this was ancestral elven land first.
And I mean,
but
before that, it was ancestral
Althea just kind of gives Rana a look. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, this was ancestral elven land first, and then something happened.
No, it's more the attitude that Rana's giving. It's that, oh, you're gonna raise this now?
Tizira doesn't have any claim to this land, is the point that Rana is making.
Okay.
So we don't owe her anything.
Yeah,
and we're going to keep moving through.
We're just going to leave now.
You've no gifts for the Emerald Regents, then? I suppose I will bid you adieu.
Good day. Johnny will start stepping back, keeping the elf in his sights.
Very surprised the elf knows how to speak French, but I guess see it.
One last thing. Rana will turn towards. He never gave his name. Yes, he did. Turiad. Sorry.
Turad.
Turad.
He's too rad. Hey.
Yeah, it does sound very similar to that.
Um,
In fact, in my notes, I put that down to help me remember how it sort of sounds.
Nice.
Write it down
Rana,
phonetically.
really quick, Rana will turn back before they leave just to address Turad one more time and say it would behoove you to get in touch with. I'm not sure how to say this in character, but basically his true patron rather than serving a false uh, god, regent, whatever.
Oh, and also I say
He's
that to Ambrose.
well,
No, she doesn't say that to Ambrose. It's
Right, I know. I
but
just thought it was funny in my head.
yes, the irony is there for sure.
I'm just, I'm
But
just vibing, dude. I'm just vibing. I'm telling him like it is, man. Preaching my truth. I don't know why you guys gotta come at me for that.
so then with that, she'll turn back and just head to back to the battle wagon.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Everyone piles back in and uh, begins to move. The elf continues to stand, watching the engine turning with it as it goes past and continues down the along the edge of the forest.
Well,
Once
that's
they're all back,
unsettling.
once all they're all back in the engine. Whoa, Dragon Sapphire? What?
Oh, well, now that we're back in private,
Yeah.
those are the sapphires that Tonus has to use to power the battle wagon.
Hmm.
They're
They're they're
party?
they're dragon sapphires. Yeah, you guys didn't know
Oh
that?
Oh,
no.
Johnny reaches
Oh,
into his bag. You mean these? He's got a couple in his bag.
I thought they were just magic.
So did I.
Oh yeah, they're dragon sapphires. The
Huh.
dwarves
I thought it
worshipped.
was. I thought it was gonna be like a power inside all along. Like
Mm?
Tonus thought he needed the crystal to power the thing, but really he could just power it by himself through his magic or
It was
whatever.
always you, Tunis. It was always you.
So the dwarves worshipped Zivis. I've been saying this name wrong the
You?
entire time. Zivis, the sapphire dragon,
Hmm.
and presumably she granted them the use of her power through her sapphires or something to that extent. Like I can't remember exactly. Me personally, as the player, I can't remember if there were multiple sapphire dragons running around. I just know that Rana knows that those are dragon sapphires.
Okay.
So why would
So,
an emerald dragon want sapphires?
I don't know,
Exactly.
because they're
Great.
dragons. I don't know.
They're
probably
covetous.
is we just like dragon relics. Like, if I found out that there were people walking around that just had stuff that was like maybe belonging to me through some kind of weird dragon birthright, I'd want to at least check it out. I don't know. I don't know how dragons work.
The true
Also,
shame,
uh,
Rana will point out, or sorry, Rana will chime in with the true shame is that a child of sound is serving a dragon, a gem dragon. That does not sit well with her. She looks really like it bothers her a lot.
kind of asking this both in character and out. Did we fight a sapphire dragon like a long time ago?
Mm-mm.
2 years ago or
I
something?
thought we avoided fighting with a little bitty baby sapphire dragon.
It
Was a
wasn't
blue.
sapphire. Yeah, it was blue.
Oh, it was blue.
And
Okay.
then we also
There's
found a
also a white
white
one
dragon that
that
Ambrose
Ambrose.
pissed off.
Well, he mugged me, first of all. That
No, he mugged
was.
No.
you after you pissed him off.
I called him a beast. That's what he is. I was meaning it like a
Wow,
compliment.
Avril did not, or sorry, not Avril. Ambrose did not learn his lesson. Your new nickname is Avril, by the way.
Man, fantasy name's gotta be so fancy. Damn it.
Just referred to you as Levine.
Okay. You continue uh, northward Um, the let's see. Okay, yep. You continue mostly north, trundling along the plains, and you start to see the small village of uh why do I name villages things that are difficult to say?
Right.
Because you're a Tolkienian fanboy?
No,
Landori.
it's because I go to Google Maps, I pull up the country of England, and then I just zoom in on cities and go, that like seems like a name.
Wouldn't this be Yandarari?
That
Yeah.
explains Keith.
Nice.
Literary.
Yanderary?
Yep.
Yandarari.
Hey, look on the bright
The
side.
double L. Welsh.
He used England. He could have used
Nice.
Iceland, and that would have been rough.
That would have
Welsh
been
is
very rough.
not easy either, but yes, you're that's accurate. Iceland is not those words. You're just like, what?
Iceland's playing Jeopardy, and it's only got consonants, man.
I was gonna say I'd like to buy a vowel, please.
Uh,
Here you go. Have a double L.
oh gosh.
All right, so we roll towards the city. Did we pass another set of markers on our way to this village?
You have not.
So that Johnny will point that out. We have not passed the second set of boundary markers, so we may still be in the quote-unquote dragon's domain. We may just not want to stop here.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Okay. So you give the village a wide
Um,
berth and go around?
That is that is Johnny's recommendation. Yes.
I think that's a good idea too. I don't want to get in
Yeah.
there and have like a big fanatic dragon cult coming after us. And
Right.
speaking of cults, uh, Ambrose has kind of been in this area before. Does he recognize anything about like dragon worship or something that's happening here?
Ambrose's life was more, I mean, that's like 60 miles north, that area that
Okay, we're
I think you're
still
referring to.
yeah, we're still pretty south of that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, um, and also in a cave.
And also in a cave. It's pretty hard. We don't get like TiVo down there, so
But would Ambrose have recognized the skulls of that were placed as the markers?
I mean, they were like
maybe.
that. You see, there are uh, squirrel, crow, deer, and like rabbit skulls. So anyone really would
Okay.
have if you had gotten out and inspected.
Okay, so it was just like a big mishmash of a bunch of different like
Uh,
forest things.
right, yeah. Each
Okay.
each of the totems has a different one.
Oh, okay. There's just a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Gotcha, I gotcha.
Okay, so you give the village a wide berth and continue along the way. You, after a few more hours of travel, you pass another totem. This time the skull is facing in the same direction that you're going. So
Okay.
if it is forming a ring, then presumably it's a boundary marker and looking outward.
Okay.
Okay.
You figure the area was probably 15-ish miles from the first totem to the second.
It's a pretty big boundary.
A big place to have laid claim.
Yeah. Well, if there really is an emerald dragon out there, then this is probably given the potential hunting ground. This could be fairly modest. You never know, right,
Those are one
Rana?
of the flying ones, I assume.
Let's not make any assumptions.
Yeah, that's
One
fine.
is
True.
I'm glad Tonus didn't say, "Hey, let's go find the dragon horde."
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Too late now.
I'm not doing anything over here. Mind your business.
Make
Okay.
loud bag noises.
Okay. You'll have to stop and rest for the night. Setting up camp after probably traveling a little bit further away from that totem.
Yes.
Does anyone want to do anything in this downtime other than the messages I've received so far?
Rana, pretty much every night since we've left Three Rivers, Rana will train. Like, what she'll ask Rowan to set up the, I don't know, his privacy stuff, and she'll be training with the bells.
Johnny is going to come through on his promise to Stephen and create him a practice sword and then take him through some basic um, defensive positions.
Yeah.
Asking Althea to help because Johnny's
Yeah.
not actually trained in sword. He can teach shield, but not sword.
No, we've actually been tag teaming on this for a little while.
Okay, cool. Good to go.
That and being uh, out of earshot, but within visual range of Rowan and Rana, just in case they need us.
Yes, indeed.
Really sort of quick question. Is Steven his actual name, or did we just call him that?
That's the name he gave.
Okay. Couldn't remember if we just like called this guy Steven and it stuck, or if it was
How you doing,
that
Bob?
was actually his name. Huh? I don't
Oh,
know. I give a lot of names to a lot of things.
We
right?
know, and they're usually wrong, but comical.
Yeah. All right. That night during, yeah, Valis will speak to Ambrose and say something to the effect of. Oh, okay. So he says, think I think we might be able to kill Urath.
Ambrose bucks his head at that. You said we can what?
Or maybe trap him at the least.
How? Am- Ambrose is like taking a second, just like blinking and covering, just like sort of wringing his hands around his neck. You said you wanted to. You. How would we? You.
That 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 artifact from the pus mass from the statue, that it's powerful. If we could get it and use it, we might be able to stop the elder thing from making, well, from consuming more.
Oh shit. Okay. You you know how that thing works, or are we sort of speaking in hypotheticals right now?
It's speculative, but know a little bit about them. My people have
Okay.
searched for them for various reasons in the depths.
Well, shit. I mean, I'd have to run it by the gang, but if you think you know how to do that, then fuck, it might be worth a shot. Guess. Should we even be talking about this? Can he like listen through me or something? Should we? I
So I can write it down. No. What are they doing? Movies? There's a
pass the
bug.
notes.
Yeah. He says, I know you think that there was only the one cult, but there's others. So Uroth might not be paying attention all the time.
So not last The cult.
Shakes his head.
Okay, this is a lot to process suddenly. Oh shit. Okay. I mean, if my understanding with how these eldritch things works, more things that are like worshiping him, the stronger it is. So like, are we sure? Are you sure that you can do something to it with like a glowy rock from a flesh pit?
It's not just any flesh pit, not just any glowy rock.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to do it with a stone I put in a fire for a few hours.
Yeah, I see your point.
I mean,
I
the gods make planes out of those things. Surely we can do something with it.
shit, probably. I just never crossed my mind. Uh, you could hurt something like that, I guess. Hey, let's let's get some rest and then maybe swing this by the gang tomorrow morning. Everyone's relaxed and full of sleep.
Yes, yes. We'll rest. Winks. Nice and relaxed.
Yeah. And before he goes to bed, Ambrose starts to assume the position that he usually would to sleep, where he puts the Book of Shadows on his face and then passes out underneath it. But he closes the Book of Shadows and just kind of leans on Valis and passes out.
Aww.
No.
The rest of the night passes. Nothing happens. No flock of crows shows up, or a particularly amorous rhino or anything like that. And it is morning.
All right. Breakfast and get ready to move out, I suppose.
Okay. You break camp, get back into the wagon, and set off. Was the group planning to stop in Milborn or just continue? It is a little bit of a detour, but
Um,
I
as
was in. Go ahead.
I guess as we're getting closer, if Althea doesn't say anything, Rana will ask if Althea wants to check in with the Duke for whatever reason.
Tara's stepped away for just a moment. She'll be
Oh,
right back.
okay, okay.
Hey, sorry, real quick. Are you guys getting any like interference or anything from my mic? My Discord is lighting up like I'm talking when I'm not talking.
I'm
I'm
not.
not getting
No,
anything.
Or if I am, it's very slight.
yeah, might be like
Okay.
very low levels of static, but it's not all the time.
Okay. I've got a fan on in the background. I wanted to make sure it wasn't buzzing or anything.
Why are
Yeah,
y'all
no.
nega vibing on us, man?
Nega Scott.
Negas.
Also,
Thank you for going with me on that.
before we broke camp, Rowan would have sent the chest on its way.
Okay. It's a fun spell.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, give me a minute. I'm gonna let Tara know. Hey, there's a question. Did you want to? Did Althea want to stop in Melbourne to check in with the Duke before we head over to Shifnal?
Maybe not to check in with the Duke, but to at least
She's heading back to her seat right now.
Okay.
old age it'd be happening.
Figures as soon as I get up and walk away, something happens that needs my input.
How
Uh,
very dare you? How very dare you go do things?
you know.
You do be like that, though.
A doobie
Um,
doobie doo.
I think it might be a good idea to stop briefly in Melbourne, maybe not necessarily to check in with the Duke, but at least get the recent news that would come to a larger city than Shifnal is.
Okay.
And if I have to check in with the Duke, then okay.
Okay.
We could get word on the war.
Yeah, what's going on with
Duke Jared.
all that? Yeah. Oh, Rana does have uh mm, not necessarily news, but she'll bring up before we go into Milburn. If you guys remember that it suddenly started snowing,
Mm-hmm.
and she split up the bells and put them in bags of holding. Um,
Yep.
she did just get a sending from her father to say keep an eye out for sudden weather fluctuations because that is. Oh, remember how there was that big storm over Shifnal at the very end of our last campaign?
Who with the Illithid? Yeah. Hard to
Yeah,
forget
the
that one.
storm wasn't the Illithid though. It was an elf that was there to get a bell back from Rana, and Rana was really nervous about that the whole time. Um, it's possible and might even be likely that we will encounter more elves that control the weather. Maybe not that one, but just beware because they are antagonistic to Gresha, and
I was gonna
they'll.
say, weren't they kind of after Rana's head?
They're probably not after her head anymore because she gave them their bell back.
Okay.
But they are antagonistic to Gresha. They probably are. If they're in this area, they're here to cause problems. And we do know that they have been working with, and this is very shameful. Like Rana looks super embarrassed. Like she can't even believe she's saying this, but we do know that they have been working with, like that warlock, to spread the blight into Gresha
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
because
the
Ooh.
elves have been working to spread the blight?
that clan has that clan
Okay,
has.
okay, okay.
And there's a lot of history behind that decision. Not that I condone it at all, because it's very short sighted and stupid, but um, that is, I do think that that is one of their aims. It's something that they're working towards. So we need to keep an eye out for them. So if you notice any weird weather, maybe be ready for elves, angry elves.
Hmm.
Thunderstorms with a
Well,
chance of elves.
I'm
Yeah, right.
I wonder if they are so willing to spread the blight, perhaps they know a way to cure it that no one else knows about.
No, they. As far as Rana is aware, they do not. They just hate Gresha.
So it's purely vindictive. It has nothing to do with reclaiming Gresha for the elves.
Um, no. Yes, it is purely vindictive, and you can't really reclaim land from the blight. So
Right.
it's very scorched earth. If we can't have it, neither can they. Sort
Yeah.
of idea.
But
And then we also know that they have been petitioning the rest of the clans to approve basically a second whorl. So they want to redirect more water and do like another river thing to shield what is left of the forest. Um, yeah. So while they are trying to poison Grecian land with the blight, they are also trying to figure out how to, or sorry, they are also planning to protect what's left of the forest.
Wow,
Yeah, it sucks.
quite quite the separatists.
Mm-hmm.
Not ideal.
There is a lot of, again, not that I condone what they're doing, but there is a lot of bad blood there. Like when Gresha first did the first whorl, the first river thing, it went straight through their capital city,
No,
and the humans didn't warn us at all.
that was inconsiderate of us.
Yeah.
And then they told us that our forests were theirs. It's like, we live here. Do you have a flag? Sorry. So yeah.
That's okay. You beat me to it by
Yep,
half a
yep,
second.
right. No flag, no country. Can't have one. That's a little bit of what's going on there. Yay, politics and very real world consequences. Real world, fake, real world.
Real enough here.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for crazy weather.
Okay.
They're not here to play
I guess,
nice.
yeah, that's it's not ideal.
So Ambrose, you want to drop
Guess,
your truth on us now?
Yeah,
We're all
well,
nice
I've
and
got,
relaxed.
now that everybody's, sort of, now that we've got everybody together and everyone's on edge because we think that weather wizards are gonna try and kill us, can we have that stone back? Can we pinch that from you just for a little bit?
Who's we and what for?
So, I don't fully understand the machinations of it, and I probably shouldn't just because, just in case Urath is listening through me or looking through me or doing any sort of thing through me. Um, with the power of that rock that we grabbed from the flesh pit, Valis thinks he can use it to kill Urath.
Why would you want to kill your patron?
Gonna eat his soul.
Yeah,
Okay, that I can understand.
kind of lost some luster after I found, the entire backstory about the child murdering parts. So, safe for Twitch, by the way, PG-13. But, um, yeah, all of this seemed really cool when my soul was gonna get sort of eaten anyway, and I didn't have any consequences. But, now I kind of care about consequences, he says, glancing over at Valis.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
no, I'd rather not have my body, mind, and soul consumed and turned into a voidless nothing at the end of all this.
I could sympathize with that.
Yeah, especially because, your soul is made out of sound.
What?
Yeah, sure.
What?
Elves are
In
sound, beings of sound. Yes.
Okay.
we are.
Yes.
Well, I'm half elf, so it's like when you put one of those little mufflers on a
So am
trumpet,
I.
probably.
So am
Anyway,
I.
And since Ambrose can get his dandruff, does that make Ambrose made out of sound and fury?
Oh.
okay, we're
Um,
having. Hey. Yeah,
I do not currently feel comfortable handing the ember over to you and Valis, but if you are dedicated to seeing this through and releasing yourself from this pact with Urath, then I will help you. And we will figure that out. If that requires the ember, then I think Rana will eventually what is it? Acquiesce. But that is a very powerful artifact that we probably don't want to use until we absolutely have to.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're in your your little study sessions, maybe you could have like Valis just sort of shadow you, so you guys could maybe figure out
Oh, sure.
how that shenanigans works. I don't
Yeah.
know how any of this works. I want to stress that, and I want to keep it that way because again, he might be able to look through my eyes, and if that happens and he finds out we're trying to plot to kill him or take me off the board and get me away from him, he's probably gonna like eat the continent, which is bad. So
Like, call your soul into his void.
or that too. And at that point, no,
Call your
oh
debt due.
buddy Ambrose would just be a husk. Which is also not ideal for anybody personally, I think.
Right. So if Valis wants to study the Ember with Rowan, because I am not able to make heads or tails of the Ember either, which I'm not super thrilled with, but Rowan has been able to figure out a decent amount. So if Valis wants to study it with Rowan, I have no objections.
Johnny lightly claps Ambrose on the shoulder and says, "We got you, man. We're here for you." Does Ambrose look decidedly uncomfortable?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
that was
Ambrose is just, currently I was raised to where like even thinking thoughts like this was like a really bad idea and something you really didn't do. So saying them out loud, it's got me really on edge.
yeah. Johnny will hand Ambrose his whiskey flask. Do you need a steadying pole, my friend?
Yes, please.
Okay, there you go.
Ambrose grabs it and chugs the whole thing.
Oof.
Ah,
Make a con
whiskey?
save.
Yep.
Make a con save.
Yep.
Is that a
Well,
con save,
yeah.
Jacob?
We'll wait for the
That's up to the
DM.
GM, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6 ounce flask, dude.
Last time he did that, a skeleton came out of him.
But yeah,
6 ounces?
6 ounce. Yeah, it's a 6 ounce flask.
I'm pretty sure that gets Ambrose pretty much all the way,
Yeah,
and then some,
yeah. He's
based
gonna
off
have
of my
alcohol
understanding
poisoning.
of Ambrose's experience.
Well, I've got a tolerance story.
Yeah, you do. Just be glad this wasn't Billy's flask. Billy's my gnome in another game, and he had it. His flask is actually linked to a dwarven distillery.
Nice. That's dangerous.
It is. So yeah, go for it. This is just straight up whiskey.
Yeah, Ambrose just downs the thing as fast as possible and then just sort of slaps it onto Johnny's chest plate. It's like, thanks. I'm gonna
Uh,
I'm gonna lie down for a bit. Ugh.
Johnny will get him to a port window so he can puke outside.
No, it's good. I'm not keeping it down this time. I want this. I want to be able to forget this, just in case
No worries.
Arath can read my thoughts. He probably
I
can. I
I
don't know. Can I
I
read my thoughts? I don't know.
Wow.
and as Ambrose is just jabbering on Johnny, he's gonna gently maneuver him towards the doorway so that to the access hatch so that he can puke outside because that's most likely going to be coming any minute now.
Am I
Could always
talking to me?
plus a restoration him.
Nope, he needs this.
Okay.
Some problems magic can't solve.
Yep,
Wait, did I say that?
yep.
Peeked behind the curtain a little bit. Anyways,
Inaccurate.
what is it? RPG horror stories when the DM lies to you. Um,
Okay, so into Milburn?
okay, so you continue forward north and detour towards the capital of the was it David? Milborn Duchy, which is itself Milborn. Good name. See. You approach and see the keep first, as it is the larger structure of the city itself, and it is on the eastern side of the city, um, on a hillock. As you
Is it
come closer, you see that there's a uh, encampment outside the city walls. Now, the keep itself has a flag of Milborn, Duke Davis's insignia, the owl on a field of blue and green. Above this is a second flag, which has three crowned griffins with their wings out on a field of gold and blue. And then the encampment has both flags as well.
Oh, that was
what's
The
just Duke
griffin is
Davidson.
the insignia for the royal family of Grescia and has
Huh.
been used by the kings and queens of old.
So can we assume, is Davis flying this as his own, or is can we assume that maybe Leto or the other queen is here?
I
Cannot
wouldn't.
remember her
Davis's
name.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't assume anything.
Davis's flag is there. It's the owl, um, and above that one is the griffin flag. So both are
what's
flying.
what is Leto's flag again?
Leto had an insignia of. Let me double check. Um, I don't remember off the top of my head, and finding it in my notes might be a little tricky right
No
now.
worries, no worries.
But
It's not there. Is where we're going.
correct, yeah, it's not there. It's not one
Okay,
of the two.
okay. Well, looks like the Baron sorry, the Duke is definitely aligning himself with the royals, and um,
Either he's claiming it as his own, or yes, he's allied with someone who has claimed it for themselves.
Yeah, that was more my question. Is I personally, as the player, have no idea. I know that like when you fly the American flag and the state flag, you put the American flag on top and then you put the state flag on bottom, right?
yeah.
At least, right? So I don't know what flag flying protocol is in this world and or in like older England, and
When
what that means.
when Rana passed through here about a month and a half ago, it was just the owl flag. Same for when Althea and Johnny and um, Tonist and Ambrose came through about 2 weeks previous. Just the owl flag. The encampment is also new.
Maybe we should stop and get some news.
Yeah, but maybe we get some news inside the town and not necessarily in the encampment. Is that okay?
Yeah, but we need to park
Unless
out
we're
here.
challenged. Yes. If we are challenged, then
Can
we're going to have to talk to someone out here.
right. Can we go around? Like, is the encampment in between us and the town?
Do you
It is a
think they
little bit
got a
north of
valet?
town, so uh, you could you could pass by without going through the encampment. I have to step away briefly again. I'll be right back.
Okay, so we can strategize. I see where you're going with this, Rana, and you're not wrong at all. Um, I was of the mind that it was encircling as a defensive perimeter. That's where I was going. That's what I was thinking.
Right. Yes, that's
So yeah,
why I
so yeah,
asked the
yeah,
right.
It
yeah. So
it
your
sounds
question is
like
spot on.
yeah, it sounds like we can enter from the south without going through the encampment.
Okay.
Enter
Yeah,
from the south.
but we
Wow.
wow,
Nice.
wow. But we are going to need to park the battle wagon, the Doom engine outside because I think rolling up on a on a defensive position in a dwarven war engine is not necessarily going to be sending the right signals.
Definitely agree.
And I
Yeah,
think
maybe
that I think that
Jay,
Althea should be leading us because she's the direct, is it vessel something?
Um,
I was
oh, and
designated by Duke Davis, yes,
Yeah,
as the
you
yeah,
Baroness.
yeah, you're the
mhm.
vassal, so you've got the in.
right.
But I'm not his bondwoman. I was not
Right.
sworn to him.
Okay.
That's what I was going to try to say, but I didn't know how to make that distinction because I don't know anything about English royalty and how that all works. Um,
I bear him no ill will
right, but
and can be
technically,
considered an ally.
I remember Jacob saying that Davis granted Althea the land outright. So that,
Yes.
like, yeah, so Althea doesn't necessarily owe him any allegiance or loyalty. It's just her land now and not his.
Got it.
She
Okay.
doesn't own the land under him or whatever, however that normally works.
Yeah,
Okay.
unless I decide to. But
Right, but that would be picking a
yeah.
side.
Yeah, and at this point that's no. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, she is Grecian nobility, and so that I agree. Probably her taking lead. I have to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. What did we decide as far as did we make any new decision, or is it
We're,
still drive up and go to the village or the city?
we're going to enter from the south,
Sure.
but probably park the Duma engine under cover and come up on foot because, just sort of rolling up on the encampment and the city in the Doom engine might be seen as aggressive.
Okay. There were 3 Shifnal guards remaining, so they'll stay with the wagon. Um, let's see. Stephen disembarks as well, ready to come with the group. And of course, the Death Seer floats on out as well.
Gonna
Oh
look at the
shit,
Death
was he
Seer
there the
and
whole time?
He was outside. He's never been allowed inside the Doom engine with us.
Okay, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he,
Althea's
he
going to look
reports
at
up to We're gonna kill him. He's all interesting. Taking notes. I'm gonna tell Urath about this one for sure.
going to turn to the Death Seer and say, you might want to make yourself look a little less out of place.
Um, moment later, he assumes the form of a human, floats down to the ground.
Thank you.
Well, Your Grace, shall we forward? We gotta wait till Rana comes back, obviously, but
He's
So we'll start walking towards the town. What the heck?
Tara's monitors just went dark.
Ooh, fun.
My
Move your
computer's
mouse.
still on.
That's
Move your
unfortunate.
mouse.
Everything's still on. What the heck? Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure you
I
didn't
guess I
Oh.
knock a
just I
cable
guess
loose
I
or
just
something.
Screensaver
hadn't
timed out.
done anything. It just
Yes.
timed out.
Yeah.
that's
Weird.
fine.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
We've
Okay.
had long rests.
Oh,
Milborn is it's a capital of the duchy. It's a larger city, but it isn't gigantic. It's not like Three Rivers was in terms of its size. Probably hosts 5 or 6 thousand people, maybe a little bit more. Um, so as far as amenities go, everything is available from the um, most squalor of accommodations to the most extravagant. City is ringed by a stone wall, which connects most of the city. There's farmland and outlying buildings, as most cities have. As you approach, you'll pass by some of these on your way to the gates, and you see that there's a uh, number of soldiers that mill about. And as you enter the vicinity and head towards the gates, they start to watch you more and more closely, and you see that a small squad of them, numbering 6, begin to follow the group. They're all fairly out of place, and heavily armed and armored.
Following us to the gates or through the city?
Just sort of keeping an eye on the group and following you towards the gate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Althea will have her helm off so that her head and face are clearly visible.
Havelock would be so proud.
Ambrose notices the guards and folks looking at them, and he does weird faces back to try and get them to crack, like those Buckingham Palace guards.
Wow.
Make a performance check.
Oh. Let's see. Where's performance? There we go.
I was gonna hit a 1 for a
Full.
second. Oh, that's an 11 anyways. Which is a double fail because 2 1s. Anyway,
Ha.
yeah, it's so dumb. Something has come over me and it won't stop. Yeah, so Ambrose makes faces at them, and they aren't like trained to not be. They're not trained to be rigid and unfeeling, so they'll chuckle and sort of laugh amongst themselves, and yeah, it's pretty good performance. I'm just gonna get an inspiration.
Hey!
Nice.
Good on you, Ambrose.
I
Valis
think
sort
I'm
of
up to like
sidles
4
next.
inspirations that I haven't used at this point, but
Excellent.
Wow.
Ambrose sidles up next to Althea, or not Ambrose, Valis does. He's hooded and drawn down to obscure his features as much as possible. That's usually when I come into town looking kind of like we do, I get run out.
Do you have a reason to be hiding your face?
Gestures at his
Rana says
sort of
he's a Forsaken.
ebony pitch black skin. Elves of my caliber aren't welcome anywhere.
Okay.
Since Johnny is usually walking side by side with Althea, he's gonna look over at Valis and say, "Valis, you're with us now, for good or ill. We've got you covered too. And maybe you can help make the difference for your people, or at least for yourself."
Except
when
in
you're traveling with us, hun, you're welcome everywhere, especially my bed. Am I right, fellas? Hey.
Oh.
Ambrose is still buzzed a little bit.
just a little bit.
Obviously.
Yeah, Althea just winces at that comment.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Alazan?
Uh, yeah. So he takes in silence after Ambrose's comment. It's a very welcome bed indeed. And the group continues forward. When you get to the gates, there are guards there, of course, and they are sort of looking everyone over as they enter the city. When the group arrives, they stop you and look you over, and the lead guard, whoever's taking charge, will ask what your business is. He implies that you must be mercenaries based off of how you're kitted out.
We're just passing through. We figured we would stop, get the news of the region, and a good meal.
Johnny was like, "Did your Grace wish to go and meet with the Duke and see how they respond to her title?"
Damn it, Johnny, I was trying to keep that quiet.
He's not gonna let you get away with it.
The guard is surprised and says, "Who are you?"
Althea Elsmar, Baroness Schiffnel.
Seems a bit flustered and unsure, and he seems to look to another of the guards. They look back and forth and sort of shrug and say, "Go ahead," and just sort of wave you in.
Thank you.
And Johnny will lean over to Althea and he'll say, "If you've got the pole, use it.
Except when you're trying not to draw attention.
Trust me." He looks her dead in the eyes. You draw attention wherever you go. This is not a bad thing. Just learn to be comfortable with what you have earned and who you are. You're getting better with one. Now it's time to get comfortable with the other. All right. So saith I. So endeth the lesson. And he just starts stepping out.
Who else needs a drink?
I'd offer you one, but my flask is
Yeah,
empty.
baby.
He calls over his shoulder.
Had nothing
So
to do with
head,
that. It's
heading
thieves.
for a, a reputable looking tavern.
Okay. Moments after leaving the gate behind, you hear heavy, fast hoof prints. Someone rides by in the livery of the Milborn Duchy, the blue and green, and looks like some sort of dispatch rider of sorts, and sort of just rides past without saying anything to anyone, and looks like it's headed in the direction of the keep.
That's probably important.
That's probably somebody reporting that I'm in town.
Mm-hmm. That'd be my guess.
Get a really quick, like, messenger system if that's the case. There might be something going on.
There might be.
There is a war going
For
on.
now, let's find a
Tend to
tavern and
stumble into a lot of coinky dinks. So,
this is true. This is true. But let's at least get a drink and a meal and find somebody who can give us the rundown on current events.
Sure. Ambrose, you should stick to water or something lighter, my friend.
it,
Greasy egg and ham breakfast.
I
Oh
don't
gosh.
know what you could be referring to.
Served in a dirty ashtray.
Ew.
Ugh.
Ew.
Is this a hot
It
pocket?
has a
Goo.
greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray. It's from Weird Science. Never mind.
Finding
Oh,
a
heck.
finding a more reputable, higher class tavern is easier. You just pass up all of the shoddily painted signs for the less uh, less good ones, less attractive ones. Find one that has words on their sign and everything. Um,
Behold, vocabulary.
yes. Find one called the Sultry Maiden. It's got a rather um, well endowed wench drawn on their uh, signage, but
Classy establishment.
it's not necessarily um, is it the classiest of names, but it does seem to be drawing in more is it affluent clientele.
Is Althea about to take us into a gentleman's club?
Lord, I hope not.
Let's go find out.
Just going for someplace that doesn't look grungy.
Yeah, it's not grungy.
Okay.
Mostly caters to the sort of merchant class. They have money,
That's
but they aren't as dignified as, or quote unquote dignified as the nobles.
right. So that's where we'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
Heading inside, uh, it's not like it's not packed wall to wall, but there's a few patrons. It's getting on towards the afternoon and later in the day. Um, but there's still ample seating if needed. And yeah, what do you want to do?
Walk up to the whoever is the tavern keeper. Or,
Yep, they've got
you
attendants, if and people going about taking orders as needed.
okay. Um,
Table for
I'm
six.
gonna just gesture everyone to let's grab a table together, and I'm gonna go over to the barkeep and say, my friends and I would like food and drink, and if there's someone who can perhaps catch us up on current events. We've been out of town for a while, and we're happy to recompense for information.
Is there like fantasy equivalent of like a newspaper or anything? Has
Uh,
that been invented yet?
Not really. Town criers would be the closest to get news around, outside of actual messages from between the illiterate. Yeah, so you push a couple tables together. There's actually 8 of you, so
Okay.
it takes a
Yeah.
little bit more room than 8. It's crazy. Why do I do this? Um, but yeah, you get your drinks. The barkeep is a woman who bears a striking resemblance to the portrait on the sign, but she's probably a little less endowed than what the painting showed. Truth in
Just out of
advertising
curiosity,
isn't required yet.
Tunis, is Liger with us?
Here, Liger just.
Would have brought him along, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be raising some eyebrows too.
Yes. Yeah, everywhere the group goes, people watch and look.
Can't imagine why.
Hodgepodge of. It's an eclectic group.
Very.
Yeah, so she begins getting the drinks and just sort of leans on the counter and asks Althea what she wants to know. Just
Oh.
looking for recent news.
Well, first of all, what's with the we noticed as we were coming to town that the royal flag is flying above Duke Davis's. What's that all about?
King Leto, he's here. He came to Milbourne. They're
King Leto. Oh, well, that's a change since we've been out. Yeah.
yeah, he came to town a week ago, and they're gonna put on a fair. Excuse me.
Fair. Really? And when is that supposed to be?
Well, they're still setting it up. There's gonna be a tournament, and uh, so gathering all the um, tourney participants. Probably another 2 weeks.
Interesting. I assume that all of the other dukes and nobility have been invited to this.
Oh yeah, there's let's see, Duke Everhart and some of the minor barons and earls of the area. Everhart. Yep. Duke Everhart, Earl von Toto of Kingsdale will come. Yeah, and yeah, just gives you a few names. Those are the most prominent ones, though.
Well, shindig going down.
Oh yeah, it's quite the extravagant affair. Lots of excellent business.
Oh, that's good for you, I'm sure. What news of the well, when last we were through, there was news of war coming. Has that changed?
Oh,
We've been a
uh,
little bit out of touch.
well, make it. What is it? You said you're providing recompense of some sort, other than just getting her buying food and
Oh, so
drink,
you're
or
buying food and drink and tipping generously.
okay. Says, oh, she leans forward conspiratorially and says that think that the tournament is more of a cover to gather people.
Gather people to ascertain their allegiance?
Some of that, and also to head east.
Ah, to meet the oncoming army.
Possibly.
Is there any news of that army? Do we have any idea of the scope?
Let's see. The false queen is east of Bluestone, and camped there for some time. They said she was going to march on the capital, but no news of that so far. So I'll just keep that snippet too. You could just have the whole map one day, I'm sure. Just piece it together from all these things. So Kimball at that top right there.
Kimball? Oh,
Oh, excellent. What?
that's where the queen is?
Supposedly the information is that she's camped in Chester and with what is it? Designs to march north to the capital and take it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sorry, coughing fit.
Anyone else have any questions?
No, not really. Well, yeah. Anyone? When? This is former. His Majesty is former Duke Leto. Yes.
Yeah, the Duke has claimed the throne, which, I mean, he's supposedly third in line, but with enough backing, anyone can be king.
Hmm.
Does Rana know who the other two are? Who are in line before Leto?
Let's see.
Trying to remember if didn't Davis and Leto have some kind of bad blood with them between them? They must have buried the hatchet.
Well,
There
no.
was they fought
Bury the hatchet
uh,
in somebody.
a war about 2 years previous, and then with that ending up with Davis swearing fealty to Leto.
Yeah, Leto took Davis's eye.
Yes.
So it's likely that Leto is here, shortly after declaring himself king to be like, you're swearing fealty to me, right? Like, right? We're still here. We're good. With the knife to his throat, that sort of thing. That's the vibe that I'm getting as a player.
And I just realized we probably should leave.
Mm.
Okay, let me answer that. Yes. And then you would wanted the first and second people in line. Okay,
So,
so first in line is Duke to the east, at least as far as hereditary, where they are in line. They have a pretty weak backing though. Not a lot of people like them, which is probably why they never pressed their claim. But it's a Duchess Hobbs
Okay.
of, and that is it in Garsdale, which is just east of Chester. And then
Okay.
the second in line, if well, because they're deposed now and in hiding, but it was the former Duke of Blackshaw.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I just missed that because Paul was telling me something. What?
Interesting.
The former Duke of Blackshaw has been in hiding, and
Right.
He's
he's
second in line.
second in line.
I
Yeah.
did not know that he was second in line. That's very interesting.
Wasn't that the kid who summoned a griffin and disappeared in our very, very first session?
No,
Oh, okay.
but he probably also has a claim to the throne just because he can summon the royal griffin. He's
If you're
just
related to a noble in Grescia, you probably have some claim. It's just where you are that matters.
right,
And like you said, how much backing you can pull.
Yeah,
right.
that's the most important part, really.
Yeah.
Is if you look at um, what is it? Here we go. You know, here's the map.
Gonna get the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Good heavens.
Uh, those four at the top left, Dundalk, Milborn, Kinlet, and Claverley, all support Leto to some degree.
Okay.
Blackshaw more or less says that they're their own place and that they're not going to follow any king. The bottom right four, Buddington, Gerwin, Wolfrey, and Powys are all sort of an old kingdom that more or less follow each other. And then there's scattered like support from the other duchies for various nobles. So from just a pure like who has the most support, it's currently Leto.
And there's poor little Shifnal all in the middle going, crap.
Switzerland.
Maybe
So, Tara, you had said, did Althea actually say it's time to leave?
No, but she's thinking that she's not going to say that while the
Somebody's mic.
proprietress is standing there.
But we are gonna have our drinks and food first, yeah.
We're going to eat, and then we're going to leave.
Okie
all right. So you eat probably with some degree of urgency and leave
Yeah.
the tavern quickly.
Yeah, once the proprietress leaves the table, I will quietly lean in and say, if Leto's king, I probably need to not be here.
Somebody's
Does
mic.
Leto not like us?
Says,
Oh, so yeah, chaos.
Yeah,
You're
so-
like just freaking out a little bit, bud.
That better.
yes,
Yes.
thank you.
There we go.
So Ambrose asks if Leto likes you.
Yeah, does Leto not like us? I thought we were cool with him when we left.
Just a
We did the
note.
whole like kill the Illithid, save the county kind of thing.
Technically,
different,
that
right?
wasn't. That's not Leto's land.
Oh, is that not?
That's
It was
Althea's
what
land.
is- Oh,
It, I don't have a lot of details. It was a note that Havelock sent me. But we should talk about it after we leave.
Okay.
okay.
Sorry, all. I can leave without you if you want, but
No, we can go. Hello. We can go.
Okay. All right, let's finish our meal and leave.
Rana doesn't need to stay here.
I don't even need to be in this auto zone right now.
kind of.
yeah, Althea will pull out her cloak and don it as they are after they leave the tavern. Or
Okay.
as they are leaving the tavern.
When you leave the tavern, you just head back to the gate to leave the city.
Is there another gate to the west?
Yes, yeah, it's a large enough city that there's multiple um,
Yeah, let's leave by a different gate than the one we came in.
egress points. Okay. Yep. So you make your way out. Try to find a gate that's. I guess you would have had it in. Yeah. So you find another gate. The larger cities, main roads, which easy to follow to get where you need to go, and eventually get to a gate. Heading out, less scrutiny than people coming in. They eye you as you exit, just as most groups eye the lot of you, but nothing is said, and you're not halted.
All right. So we're gonna make our way back to the wagon.
Okay. Yeah, it takes. So you parked it in the tree line, kind of hidden. So, uh, about 10 minutes later, you arrive at the wagon. Um, doesn't seem to be accosted. The the Shifnal guards will mention that they've seen um, Griffin riders flying around since your departure.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, good to know. Let's pile in, and then Althea, you're gonna tell us a story. Is it story time?
It's a little bit of story time. So, as I said, I
You
didn't get a whole lot of detail, but I got a note from Havelock at one point that said something to the effect of I had been declared a criminal and that Duke Leto wanted me dead.
why? How would he give you a duchy
Uh,
and then declare you a criminal?
because he didn't give me the duchy or the barony. Um, Duke Davis gave me the barony. And I don't know what the situation there is now. I haven't talked to Havelock since that. The other thing that I don't know if I've shared with everyone is that my brother is apparently with the army of the woman they're calling the false queen.
A brother?
Yep.
That's why
Oh,
I left home was to find my brother Michael.
oh,
We've just been called upon to do other things, so I haven't been pressing that particular quest. Um, I'm not sure what to do right now. I don't know if I don't know if we should continue on to Shifnal because there might be a trap there for me, which quite frankly, I think this tourney is a trap. I think that King Leto is drawing in all of the nobility to have them all in one place so he can take out the ones who don't actually support him.
Oh yeah, or coerce them into supporting him.
That is a very valid and very vicious idea. But yes,
I believe it.
and and Johnny says, I
impossible.
really feel bad now about outing you at the at the guard gate. I didn't know.
It's all right, Johnny. It
I just
we
didn't know.
just we just need I'm just glad we were able to get out of the city, but we need to get on the move and we need to decide which direction we're going.
You can always go to my folks' place.
So, Althea, you don't want to go to Shiftal?
I don't know if it's a good idea to go to Shifnal right now.
I don't know if it's safe, especially if that runner that we saw pass us inside the city was going to alert the king that the Baroness was has been sighted. He's probably still got, from what you're saying out there, he's probably still got warrants out for you and so forth.
Until I talk
Oh
to Havelock,
shit.
I won't know.
Hmm.
Shit
I
then.
have no idea where that boy is.
So,
Um,
if that messenger was alerting people that you are here now, then that means we might have people on our tail very, very soon.
Right, which is why we need to get going. Which direction do we go?
Well, okay.
So
If Tonist needs the garage to repair the battle
The
tank, then we might need to go to Shifnal. But we don't. I guess we don't necessarily have to go into the town. We can just head straight to the keep.
True.
were we trying to get the Kimball or something?
Were we?
I don't remember.
Because I don't know how fantastic of an idea this is, but if we need to keep going north, we could cut through some old familiar territory, he says, looking at Valis, which probably would dissuade bounty hunters or guards or whoever might try to chase us.
Well, alternatively, we need to go out to the wastes to start heading towards the necromancer anyway, and nobody's going to follow us out there.
Right,
Oh.
but before we get to the necromancer, we really need to do this. We really need to do the repairs to the Doom engine. Yes.
Right. That's why I'm suggesting we head to the keep so that Tonus can do those repairs.
All right.
The Badlands. Valis will chime in at what is it? Ambrose's hint. Say the Badlands are fairly bad for people that don't know about their secrets. So heading east and around could be what is it? Beneficial.
But will Tonus have the supplies that he needs?
Well, I think the suggestion is to not go the direct route from Milbourne to Shifnal, but to go around.
Right, to
So that
make a loop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was misunderstanding. That's fine.
Yeah.
I Rana has no objections to that suggestion.
All right, then let's head out eastward and then northwest to Shifnal. Or no, what is it? Northeast for a while and then
northwest,
northwest.
And then south.
and then just north, or just west.
Wait.
No, I mean you don't have to go past
So
Shifnal. You can
Oh, okay,
come at
okay.
it directly from there.
Okay, I getcha.
So looping around that copse of trees there, which
Yep.
is probably a forest.
Yeah, on this size map, that's a forest.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool. Sure.
Okay, so
I am sorry, all. I did not mean to put us in this danger.
okay, using Ambrose's and Valis's familiarity with the land, and just the general, the fact that the area is sparsely populated because it is kind of craggy, rocky area with not a lot of fertility. So there's not like there's villages out there. You make the circuitous.
Circuitous?
Circuitous, yeah. We got you.
You make the go around the cops path towards Shifnal, and it takes a couple extra days just because it's a longer route, but it is safer. And with the expediency with which you left the tavern in Milbourne, you seem to have avoided anyone catching on to where the Doom engine was immediately. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So a couple days later, you'll come to the outskirts of Shifnal. On the road in, you start to spot sort of small pudgy creatures working in the fields of the farms. They don't seem to be wearing any clothes. They're gray skinned and they almost look like they're damaged in places. Like the skin, it's not like an open wound, but it doesn't look like it's the same consistency as the rest of the skin.
Ew.
And they seem to be working in the fields alongside the farmhands that you would normally suspect.
Are any of these farms that we talked to or worked with the farmers when we were trying to consolidate Shifnal and defend against the Illithid.
Um, oh, like the specific farmers.
Mhm.
You see, you not specifically those ones. If you when you pass by them, you'll see them in those ones as well, but you don't see only. It's not like it's only those farms. If that answers the question that you were looking for.
Basically, if we are passing a farm that is familiar, uh, Althea will want to disembark and go talk to the farmer and ask what is this? But she wants to talk to someone she already has a relationship with, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah. There was that farm that you helped uh, them recover the daughter that had been kidnapped. So
Yes.
that one's a suitable farm.
Yeah.
Irana, did you see the message I sent you in Discord?
I did. I'm trying to figure out how Havelock would have known, or like when Rana would have gotten that, and how Havelock would have known how to contact her.
Because Havelock has connections everywhere. He's an urban bounty hunter. He finds people for a living.
Let's see.
Okay, but I don't think he knew where she was from,
He knew
and
you were
that's where
travel.
she went.
He knew that you were traveling with Althea, and he also knew what you looked like. And there was a picture that went along with a drawing that went along with the notice.
Did she get this while she was still in Shifnal?
No, it would have been it would have had to have been when Rana was in Three Rivers. So only a few days previous.
Seems like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
does. Where? Sorry, I'm trying to look something up so that I can make sure that I'm giving you the correct answer.
Yes, I saw it then. Just trying to make sure that all those logistics make sense because
No,
she wasn't
absolutely.
exactly telling anybody where she was going, and then no one else knew that she was in Three Rivers except for you guys.
Right. And Havelock has a vested interest in Althea's well-being, so he keeps tabs on where she goes, and he knows that you all were traveling together.
Oh, okay. So like he sent it to Althea, and Althea gave it to Rana.
Yeah, that's a reasonable way to have gotten
Oh,
it.
that makes sense. Okay,
Okay.
cool,
So
gotcha.
as Althea approaches the farm and moves through the fields, she begins to feel like the creatures that are working it are just repulsively evil.
Oh dear.
They are fiends, but
Our cause.
they seem to be working the field without complaint. And the people, while they are a little apprehensive near them, they also work the fields.
Pardon me.
Yeah. She just mutters under her breath. Our cause. Hmm. She's still gonna go up and greet the farmer and ask after the barony and what what news of the town and of the village. How is everyone?
He recognizes Althea on sight and is excited that she's returned. Things have taken a strange turn over the last um, couple weeks. It seems that the all of the farms have been given supplemental labor in the form of these wretched things, and they work the fields without complaint and tirelessly, which has definitely improved productivity, but they aren't the most pleasant to be around. He'll tell Althea that lots of There's just been a bustle of activity completing the keep. And yeah, demons seem to be allowed to walk around the city, the village proper without anyone. I mean, at first people were, is it,
Terrified.
yeah, terrified against it, weren't too happy, but it's sort of gone into a, well, I guess this is now how we live. Because while the demons are terrifying, when they didn't immediately start ripping people apart and eating their flesh, it seems like maybe they weren't there to wreak the havoc that they expected. Sadly, uh, Sheriff Woodleaf was one of the first to oppose these new creatures, and despite, without provocation, he attempted to subdue one of the demons, and he lived, but he decided that being the sheriff is no longer what he wants to do.
Oh man.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Well, thank you for letting me know.
So he'll say that the demon handled Woodleaf with restraint, but it was clearly uh, he was clearly overmatched.
Interesting.
So who is seeing to the construction of the keep now?
The yeah, the keep is being constructed on Althea's orders and the plans that she'd made with the um, contractors, and that the general overseeing has been done by a uh, Dargulath, who is taken up the position of steward of the keep.
Gargoloth?
Dargulath.
Is that a demon?
Um,
Italian?
he's got small horns and green and black skin,
Yep,
but
he's a
he
demon.
looks humanish.
But clearly one of Thaddeus's lackeys.
Seems likely. It's oh, coughing fit. 1 second.
We're gonna need to purify the keep. So I'm willing to lay even odds that they are inscribing and making it so that it can be a focal point for them.
Oh, doubtless.
Yeah. So this is
Ambrose, had any of this been put in place before you parted ways with him?
I mean, parted ways is a strong way to put it. Um, no, yeah, after all of y'all sort of spread your everybody sort of spread out to do their own thing with like the dwarves and whatever Rana was doing with the bells and such. We tried to do the whole domestic home life thing, and kept trying to take my bones. And I do think he mentioned something about like wanting to expand, like some very entrepreneurial vibes from him. But I never really got to figure out what that meant before I tried to break up with him.
and then ran for your
That
life.
yeah, that's what happens when he blows up an inn with demon fire. So
Yeah. No judgment here, buddy. Yeah.
after that, I was on a cart and I was in the Badlands, and I haven't been back here since. So
Are you feeling okay being here?
I mean, there's a tiny part of me that's very concerned and very worried and thinks that we should all like leave and never come back. But this is also kind of partly my mess, so we might want to try and find a way to clean this up.
And Johnny just looks at Ambrose with very approvingly, with something akin to pride. It's like, Well said, my friend. Well said.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my party did kind of cut out a couple times at the beginning there. Did they mention anything about Thaddeus or Cause or anything? Do we know what he's up to? Have they seen him at all?
Yeah, Thaddeus makes his appearances uh at the remaining inn since the other one was blown up. And
I thought we paid to have it rebuilt.
yeah, and then it got blown up afterwards.
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we paid to have it rebuilt after I like scorched the hell out of it with my lightning, and then turns out slipping a note under a door to try and break up with an incubus isn't the best way to go about it. He casted like a lot of fireballs. I had to jump out of a window and into a rain barrel just so I didn't get all burnt up.
uh,
Uh,
Phallus raises an eyebrow at that and says, "Fireballs from an incubus?"
yeah, my ex. It's a whole thing. I kind of, I
Well,
wasn't
he's
in
a
a great
I think we found
mental
out that he's not
state.
actually an incubus.
Mhm. He's a
Oh,
little
is
bit
he?
more than that.
He was like he presented himself as an incubus, but he's not actually.
Yeah, he's so very
He's,
much not.
he's a demon. Yeah, and
He's a demon lord.
I was going through a lot of very complex and very sad emotions at the time, and I tried to summon him to get myself some more love in my life. And then it turns out summoning demons usually ends up with your soul getting stolen, but my soul already kind of has dibs on it. So then he tried to take Althea's, and then I tried to break up with him, and then he blew up the place. And now I think he probably wants me and Althea like super dead, like heads on a platter dead. So that's where we're at with that. X's, right?
Whoa.
Oh.
That was a pretty good summary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as recaps go, that was pretty succinct.
All right.
Phallus pinches himself. I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming right now.
Yeah.
No.
This
Yeah.
can't be. All right. Giant or
Good.
There
Good
was an
farmer.
illithid here
Where?
too.
Uh.
Well, we killed him. We turned his ass into calamari.
We did. We did kill the illithid.
uh, Althea asks the farmer. So where is the retired sheriff now?
he went and uh, yeah, I mean he still has his home in Shifnal, so he lives at home, presumably.
Yet another place. Probably not a good idea for me to be here. Um. All right. Well, thank you, and um, I'm glad that production is up.
Yeah, harvest will be excellent this year.
That's good.
Just
Keep keep your
don't
peace
know if I
with.
want to eat the food.
Do you think it's cursed?
Well, let's just say that each farmer has uh, made a portion of their farm only workable by humans.
So they
I
don't get
see.
tainted food. Hmm.
I mean, based on the stuff that Cause was feeding me, yeah, probably super cursed. Got demons all up in it.
There's demons in your blood. You should do cocaine about it.
I was very specific. I was very specific that none of you were to be harmed.
Oh, I mean, none of one has been except for the sheriff, but he just short shrugs. No one has been harmed, from what I know.
But even this, all I can say is I'm far too trusting.
Same
You
sister. We all learn.
were far too trusting. We're working on that. So,
Thank you
And
for the news. And let me know if anything changes.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
I'll say it.
So, so let's take our leave. And
Yeah.
once we take our leave, Tonist, how long do you think it's going to take you to um, do what you need to do?
Assu yeah, assuming that there's that the workshop was completed and that is material enough, it would take, let's see, 5 days.
if we only had a dwarven mine,
Let's say a week
and
to be safe.
Yeah. So,
Oh, we
I
do
was
have a
going
dwarven
to do
mine.
upgrades and
I
repairs
know,
if we have time for it because we have this schematic.
I can help with crafting components if you need it.
And that was the other thing was Althea. So here's my thought. If our cause is so thoroughly embedded, and Johnny's right, wants me dead so that he can collect my soul. This is yet another place I shouldn't be. I don't know if the mine is in operation. I believe that we had discussed that we had talked with the dwarves about working it. And yeah, because I was carrying that treaty with me.
Hmm.
Um, if if the mine is demon free, demon
If
and fiend and etc. free, I will take shelter there. If it is not, I will take horse for Bluestone and wait for you to join me.
Maybe we should see the state of the keep first.
I, Rana, understand I'm afraid to go there right now because we are wildly outnumbered.
And to
And
your
if
point, yeah, we've got a demon lord, and a local bloodthirsty noble gunning, aiming at you. I agree, Ron. I have to agree with her on this one. That's not the smart move.
none of you are in their sights.
I mean,
All
eh,
right, Ambrose, you and Valis might want to come with me.
never turned down a threesome.
Wow.
A
Not what I
buddy
meant,
of
Valis.
buddies.
Actually, no. Althea would just kind of look at him and go, "What?" Because Althea doesn't know what that means.
Right.
Johnny would be kind of questioning it too, because it's out of his wheelhouse too.
All right. So I think we'll end it there. You can
Sounds
come up with some sort of plan over the week, maybe, or not,
Yeah.
and we'll fly by the seat of our pants next week. Whatever
we'll
you want to
see.
do, to you guys. But
Can we? Is it okay to continue this at least the RP portion
oh yeah, of
in
course.
chats? Okay,
Yep. Never a problem.
cool.
Um, okay.
All right.
Thank you for
Nice drive, everybody.
a great great adventure day. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, you guys didn't fight the spider, which I was surprised at. So that's good.
that's because
Oh,
Rana
I mean,
didn't
to
go
be
down there.
fair,
oh.
Ambrose wasn't there.
Althea was not real thrilled that we left that thing alive, but
Right.
Not
Johnny
really
is
hurting
trying
anything,
to
but I
be
didn't want to kill her.
Johnny's
mhm.
trying to be more diplomatic and trying to be more less murder hobo, more creator and um,
That
envoy
thing
envoy
is
type.
demanding tribute from people outside of their limbs and in some cases their lives.
Oh, we don't know that
No,
that was the
it wants
spider.
magic. It wants magic.
It also wants food.
Well, we didn't give it any of that, so.
I mean, like relatable, honestly.
I also want food. In fact, I'm gonna go have food.
Yeah,
Go
right?
for it.
I'm hungry.